Do you want to live a productive life, my bro? Do you want to live a life where you're actively pursuing your goals? Do you want to live a life that's going in the right direction? You see, the key to this is to sit down. Let me explain. You see, throughout my life, I'd always procrastinate. I'd have all these tasks to do, but I'd never end up doing them. Even when it was exam season, essay season, I'd procrastinate and go on my phone and aimlessly scroll on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. This happened from the time I was doing GCSEs to all the way to my dissertation. And the thing is, 90% of the times I'd procrastinate and waste time. How many times in the last year you've needed to study or do this important task, but you procrastinate? You go on your phone, you go up to eat, you get this, you get that, you search this on Google. I remember this exact time so specifically. It was my last GCSE exam and it was graphics design. I basically had 4 whole days to revise for that last exam. So when I done my penultimate exam, which was physics, I was like, you know what? I've got 4 days to pattern this. Because basically I had the whole of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because the exam was on Tuesday. However, it was during this time that the 2018 World Cup had started. So this is when my lizard brain began to make excuses and cope. It was like, no, you can watch those matches, you can have a little break. However, what happened the whole weekend? I didn't do any work at all. I literally procrastinated the whole weekend. During A-levels, I didn't learn from my mistakes because I would get distracted by a myriad of things. I'd constantly be on my phone, play FIFA, watch football, do this, do that. It was like I could never just sit down and do work. And it was not until October of last year that I was like, you know what? You can actually sit down and be productive. It's actually possible. There's genuinely a way where you can just sit down, do work with 0 distractions. And it was simple, just to wake up early and eat the frog. So from that moment onwards, I would always stay up for Fajr and do the hardest tasks, which was often writing scripts for YouTube and TikTok. You see, this is a very effective method. However, not every morning you'll be motivated and have that desire. It won't be every day where you wake up feeling refreshed. There are going to be times where you're tired, you don't feel like it, or you literally can't be asked. There were a couple of times where I'd wake up and I was like, you know what? I'm so tired, I can't be asked. Let me go back to bed. However, on most occasions, around 95% of the mornings, I'd stay up and do work. Though I thought after this time block, it was impossible to do any work. It was impossible to sit down and concentrate. The reasoning behind this was because I thought if I ate and checked my phone, I wouldn't be able to concentrate. I wouldn't be able to sit down and do some hard tasks. The thing is, you can always defeat your lizard brain, because I would see these big entrepreneurs like Iman Gaji and Hamza work all day, from as soon as they woke up to until they went to sleep, where they work 16-hour days for 3 to 6 months. And the thing is, they most definitely checked their phone and ate something. So I knew there was a secret to being productive the whole day. There must be a way you can 10x your productivity, because it's all fun and games when you're able to do work when all the conditions are in your favor. It's early, no one's up, you haven't checked your phone. However, what makes the biggest difference is when you're able to do work despite all the distractions. So I began to analyze all these entrepreneurs and influencers, see what they do to do extra work during the day. I was thinking, how can I do this? How can I do extra work during the day? Of course it won't be deep work, but at least there'll be some tasks that will help me in the future. Because doing deep work during the afternoon after you've done it in the morning is very hard. However, I knew big tasks like editing YouTube videos and TikTok videos could still be done in the afternoon and the evening. So in this way, I could get ahead of my work and upload more, therefore reaching my goals quicker. So a couple of Fridays ago, you can even check on the YouTube channel, I did a day in the life. So I done all the deep work and important tasks early in the morning. So of course, scripting YouTube videos, TikTok clips. However, I still had work to do. There was still a lot of work to be done, and that was editing YouTube videos. And at this point I was like, you know what? I need to edit the video. I just need to sit down and do it. So I implemented this tactic that I took from Justin Waller, who always used to say on podcasts, I'd lie to myself and I'd just say, sit at the bench or just go to the gym. He would lie to himself and say, I'm only doing the bare minimum. However, he normally catches a pump and then he does the full workout. So I was like, you know what? I need to adopt this mentality. I'll just tell myself I'll do 2 minutes worth of content. But you know what ended up happening? I did the first 5 minutes of the video, which was half of the video. So I then had my second meal of the day, which was wings and potatoes. And I was like, you know what? When I let my body digest, I'll sit down and do some more work. So I told myself just to sit down, cut out all distractions and try do a bit of work. Even 1 minute. It would be progress no matter how much I did, if it was 1 minute or 5 minutes. But I done more than the bare minimum, which was 5 minutes, and I completed the whole video. So due to this mindset, I was able to complete a task that I would often delay to the following morning. And the reasoning behind this was because the conditions were so easy in the morning. No distractions, no phone, just water and black coffee. The thing is, I'd always give myself an excuse. Oh, I checked my phone, I ate carbs, so I can't sit down and do these important tasks. However, this mindset has proved that that's incorrect. If you just cut out all distractions and tell yourself, just sit down and do a little bit of work, you'll be able to make tangible progress no matter what time of day it is. You see, having this mindset will allow you to increase your productivity. You see, we all procrastinate on tasks that we need to do. Me, you, and everyone else. We're living during an age of various distractions. Everything is trying to zap our attention and focus. So a lot of us fall into the trap of thinking, I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it when the conditions are better. Most of us live in that vicious cycle where we continuously delay the task. And the way to beat this is simple. Just tell yourself, sit down and do the bare minimum. Because the thing is that if you tell yourself, I need to sit down and do an hour's worth of work, you'll just procrastinate. However, if you tell yourself, just do a little bit and you'll make progress, you're more likely going to sit down and actually do the work. You see, your lizard brain always wants comfort, so it'll say, do this bad habit instead. And of course, if you tell yourself, I need to sit down and do this big task for 2 hours, of course you're going to procrastinate and do nothing because the task seems so daunting and difficult. You'll think to yourself, this is so much, I can't do all of this. So what happens? You just waste even more time and do nothing. So the way to beat this is to trick yourself and say, we're only going to do 1 minute worth of work. I'm only going to sit down and do the bare minimum, because in that way it seems way more doable and easy for your lizard brain. So instead of it seems like you need to climb Mount Everest, you just move one pebble. So then when you sit down and actually try to do the work, it looks much easier. And even if you don't do that much, it's better than doing nothing and just wasting time scrolling on your phone, TikTok, Instagram. So let me give you another example. So 2 Tuesdays ago, I had a time block between 2 to 4 where I'd edit my video. However, for certain reasons, I started at 2:30, but I told myself, just sit down and show up at your computer. And you know what happened? I condensed the first 7 minutes of the video. So then the following day, I only had to do another 5 minutes. And the reason why adopting this mentality will allow you to beat everyone is simple. You're making progress no matter if it's small or big. So even if you didn't do that much, like edit 1 TikTok video, that's still better than doing nothing. That saves you time and hassle in the future because you have that TikTok video ready to be released. Because if you're able to tell yourself, sit down and do the bare minimum, and you actually make some sort of progress, you'll beat everyone because everyone's distracted by their phone, the food, all the distractions of the modern world, because you're continuing to keep going no matter the circumstance or the distraction. You see, this mentality I apply every day. Do you know how many times at work it's so dead that I have free time, I'm like, you know what, let me edit a little TikTok video, even if I'm not as effective because I've ate carbs, I've checked my phone multiple times, I still make some sort of progress. I still edit half the video or sometimes even the whole video. So when the next day rolls around, I can do less work because I have that video ready to be uploaded. I can guarantee you, if you adopt this mentality, you'll make tangible progress in all your endeavors. Just lie and tell yourself, sit down and do 1 minute's worth of work. And I can guarantee you, you'll do way more in that time period and you'll beat your competition.